Hi, Pisces. All right. So I wanted to do a kind of slightly different storytelling where I'm asking the question, if we were to like ask the guardian angels, whatever that may be, the guides, what would be a message that our benevolent influences would want our lead character to hear and to know and to contemplate? What would that message be? And we have the Sage. Pisces, this is a really exciting card to get because the Sage, it is the wise storyteller in all of us. It is the encouragement to be the storyteller. Now, to be a good storyteller, we have to have a flair for the creative. We research everything under the sun. We learn about all kinds of different things so we can craft really great stories. We turn, daily life into something thought-provoking and intriguing. If we have a simple conversation with a person on the city bus, it's not just like, hey, how's it going? Oh, hey, good. It's like, well, I've I'm having a blue day today. And someone goes, oh, you're sad? No. I mean, I'm creating like an entire blue series today, kind of like an artist, kind of like Picasso's blue period. I'm finding everywhere I look there are these unique inspirational things, and everything that is blue that my eye settles on, I gather some grain of information from. And and it's just like the way in which you would like create a different kind of a conversation with someone. It's an unexpected response. It's a unique, open dialogue that actually creates more open energy flows. That's kind of what a storyteller does. So this is that message that says, be the storyteller. Don't feel like we can only have these pre-programmed responses, but rather use all that creative flow, because some of you might have that like really incredible, vivacious energy and creative mindset. And if we don't get to exercise it, practice it, and use it, that unique spark that we carry within us might not be seen or cherished, and it might be really needed right now. So that gift that you possess to carry yourself as kind of a unique individual. This is also somebody who can be like a historian. This can be someone who has really interesting pieces of information to share. But if you never find an opportunity to get to share those things, then it just stays locked up inside. Now, there's another message here that says, because there's a warning that comes with the Sage also, because it's like sage advice, right? It says, obviously we don't give unsolicited advice ever, but at the same time, there are warnings about like when we're open-minded enough to always be wanting to converse with people, wanting to hear other people's information, to kind of like enhance our whole repertoire of like creative thoughts. Beware the smooth talker. Beware the person who comes into our world and tends to have lots and lots of, pizzazzy entertainment style behaviors, because sometimes that can be alluring, but if it's not backed up with anything of substance, then it just kind of can, it's basically like, have you ever like had too many red herrings in a storyline where it's like, okay, that was unnecessary, that drove the story way over here instead of stayed on track. It's a lot like that. So if we are the Sage, we are the person who is crafting our own life experience, but one of our purposes in this life is to interact with others. And if you have this unique gift to share with others and to, have thought-provoking conversation and dialogue and such, that's a real gift. But in amongst your travels through this world, there may be other individuals to just be mindful of. Not like, ooh, watch out for anybody who's, gonna just kind of like try to catch your attention, because in essence, you're that person who can catch people's attention. But it's just that gentle, especially if you're attracting more creative individuals around you. It's like, and maybe this is also that message to keep one's own storytelling really accurate, really precise, really authentic, really real, with nice backed up facts. And it kind of, it's just about exploration of our thoughts and also our self-expression, and not feeling like we have to to play small when we have a lot to say. So that's the advice there. That would be given from those benevolent energetic forces, the forces of the universe that care about us. That would be the gentle encouragement there. Then we couple it with an Empress in the reverse. And with this 5 of Cups in the reverse, I feel like the universe wants to come down and just like wipe away somebody's tears and be like, sweetheart, it's going to be okay. Don't feel lessened. Maybe that's why. Maybe our Empress could be masculine or feminine. Please bear that in mind. Perhaps our Empress has actually felt like her voice has been silenced, like nobody cares to hear my story. Nobody cares to hear what has happened in my world. This says, no, darling, that's not true at all. I feel like this is a really supportive, really gentle message from the universe, that especially if your voice hasn't been heard lately, it might be time to actually time to make sure that we aren't letting ourselves feel trapped in a behavior or set of circumstances that keep reinforcing that I'm not supposed to open up my thoughts, my mouth. Nobody cares to hear what I have to say. This says, dry your little tears, little chickpea. It's better than you think it is. Maybe you haven't been in a very supportive environment, but you're very cared about, and you have so much wisdom and you have so much knowledge to share. Got an 8 of Wands in the reverse. We might have been sharing it in the wrong way, and this is blocked energy. This would be like, okay, let's put it this way. The most talented actor or actress in the world still isn't going to be able to go on Broadway if Broadway isn't open. If Broadway is closed, there's no place for them to do that performance on Broadway. That means, do they stop being an amazing actor or actress? No. They're going to go and they're going to perform someplace else. If there's some avenue that's not available, it doesn't mean that you're not talented. It doesn't mean that your voice doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that your art isn't incredible. It just means that avenue for you to express it might not be available. But that's a minor blockage, right? Because you still got the skills and you get to write your own story in this lifetime. It's all up to you. Okay, so we have a King of Cups. How perfect for a Pisces. Yes, this could be a metaphor for wanting to write a new life story with a new partner, for sure. Someone who really suits us. Somebody who's incredibly energetically vibing really high. Someone who has this sense. I always feel like this is the energetic telephone, this King of Cups, because he's sitting here with his eyes closed and he's like ringing the Tibetan singing bowl. But I can't help but say, to me, this is where it's like he's putting it in that cosmic telephone call to say, hey, I'm sitting right here waiting for my Pisces to come along. This is somebody who's very open-hearted, somebody who's very energetically attuned. And I just feel like since we've been talking about that sage advice, the storytelling of our lifetime, we're meant to keep exploring things. We're meant to keep finding new avenues that are right for us, new information that we'd like to learn from, and maybe a new person that we'd like to learn information about. This could be someone, a story of someone who's actually been in some form of a connection that they were guided to leave, because we have the lone wolf, but keep in mind, wolves are pack animals and wolves do mate for life. So I feel like someone is, they've still been on a quest for their partner, and they've been guided and continue to be guided with that owl. Also, possibly the goddess Athena would be influenced. So maybe there's a connection to Greece or some, Greek ethnicity. Blah, it's a tongue twister for me. Just because he does carry the owl here, but that represents, again, being very heavily guided, looking for knowledge and wisdom, and then using that knowledge and wisdom to make decisions. And he carries a torch because he is following that basically like his soul's purpose. I feel like it takes a lot of courage to follow one's soul's purpose, especially if it means for a time period. It's like, okay, well, I've been in a situation that told me I couldn't open my mouth, that I couldn't sing my own story, that I wasn't, the story I had to tell wasn't valuable. Maybe somebody didn't value my art. Maybe I was with a partner that didn't really see that all the things that I had to give were something that maybe they dismissed it. Some people don't care about art. They don't care about the gifts and the skills that someone possesses. Like, let's look at it like this. You could have the most skilled carpenter ever, but if somebody doesn't need a carpenter because, let's say, their house is whatever, it's made of marble, they don't need a carpenter, then they can't even comprehend how great it would be to have a really skilled carpenter, because carpenters are woodworker, and I don't have anything that's woodwork. I have only marble. I just feel like, doesn't mean that carpenter is less. Not at all. It just means they certainly don't need to be wasting their time with the person that doesn't admire their skills. So that's what it boils down to here. It's kind of an interesting spin on this, because there has been a blockage, but the blockage, I almost feel like, is what our Pisces has recognized. Like, hey, this is just flat out blocked. This isn't what I asked for. I can't move forward with this because I don't see my growth. I don't see a space for me to basically tell a story here, to build a story, to write a story. So I need to move on. And I feel like this Pisces is looking for where they're going next, just as much as they're hearing this little beacon. It's like there's this little bell that's going off somewhere in the Pisces, like that ethereal cosmic world. Pisces hears it, and they're moving toward it. I feel like they're on this is like for someone who is headed toward the next adventure in their life, the next person that they're supposed to meet in their big journey. We have a 6 of Cups in the reverse. I feel like we're dealing with the Pisces who says there's no way. Somebody could have a Labrador, a real cute lab there too, kind of whitish, creamy colored. But this would be a returning soulmate. I feel like Pisces is like, no, that's not out there for me right now. I'm just trying to get my feet under me. I'm just kind of like still listening to my inner self and taking my steps forward. But I gotta say, I think Pisces is like, no, I walked away from a soulmate. I don't think that I'm headed for one. We're headed for a marriage. Yeah, the Hierophant. And we're headed for much happier times. Look at this. And we got the Stairway to Heaven right here. We got a little Led Zeppelin kicking into this reading. This person is so happy. This person is so at peace. This person is so, I don't know how closely you can see, but we have like this, the outline of a lotus flower as well at the top of this. This is love. This is inner peace. This is inner harmony. This is a deep sense of comfortable spirituality. And it has to do with tradition, which actually so does the sage, because the sage also asks us to question, why do we believe what we do? Because sometimes tradition is wonderful, and other times tradition can be something that if we step back and we go, wait a second, why was I thinking that? Maybe it's not 100% true for me. Okay, I can abandon that, and I can form new traditions. I can form new belief systems, things that really do suit me better. This could be, I gotta say, whatever this Pisces is headed toward, it is because they recognize that they were stagnant in a situation with someone. I'm too stagnant with someone. This is not feeling like this is where I'm meant to be. And it could even be that it's because subtly, subconsciously, the Pisces already was like, I sense that there's somewhere else I'm supposed to be. I don't know where it is yet. And they might have been hearing this little cosmic phone call again, but they're insisting, no, I'm not looking for somebody else. I'm not trying to go out and find some other soulmate. Thing is, I don't know that, maybe this is just the Pisces saying, no, I simply want to like call in a better space for myself, better headspace. I just want to be calm and peaceful. I'm not looking to connect with anybody right now. Maybe I'm just looking to connect with my higher self. It could be that simple. I just have a hard time thinking that that's all it is. Only because this sage is meant to be a storyteller. And who do you tell your stories to? Oh, that's a great song, by the way. The Story by Brandi Carlile. Death and rebirth. I'm telling you, tell your story to a person who you connect with, right? if we have no one to tell our story to, then, or no one to write a story with, a life story with, then, you know, is it the same? No, our story will change dramatically. We'll alter the story of our lives when we bring other people into it, or when we tell it to other people. So I think that it's an important thing, even though I love the fact that our Pisces has been very focused on leaving behind a place where they were stuck and rebalancing themselves, but they also are very focused right now in the subconscious, to allow themselves, that higher part of themselves, to connect with someone who I think would be just as spiritually inclined as they are, especially with this death and rebirth. Look, I got to say, I don't think that our Pisces is going to end up with the same type of person that they used to. Now, you notice, this is the other thing I really like about this. This person doesn't have a face, because we're not saying, okay, it has to be this person, I'm manifesting this person. There's none of that. It's like, for some reason, again, answering that cosmic phone call, something is pulling me toward, guiding me toward this direction. I'm not 100% sure of what it is. What I know is that I want to be balanced. What I know is I don't want to be stuck. And what I know is I want to be in a situation that really clicks. Well, it looks like our Pisces is headed for something like that, but it's going to be a total life changer. Our Pisces could be headed into, I feel that song "In Your Eyes" is in my mind right now. The light, the heat. I feel like somebody sees the same thing reflected in someone else's eyes, almost like, oh my gosh, you match me better. We have the same vision for a future. I can see it when I look in your eyes. Maybe somebody really likes the great outdoors. They like the, these look like pine trees to me. They like the idea. I feel like this Pisces is changing the tempo of their life. They're changing their audience. They're changing the person they write a life story with. They're changing everything. And this is shedding the old skin. Who they're going to be attracted to is not who they used to be attracted to at all. It's going to be a very different quality person. And it's someone who matches them at some really like cellular level. This is really exciting. Could be a Scorpio, doesn't have to be, but with that death card there, could be. Let's just get one more here. I want to keep this one a little short and sweet because it's kind of like a big message one. We have the Hierophant, or excuse me, the High Priestess in the reverse. This is actually really beautiful because our High Priestess is also, it's that, well, it's like Pisces, Cancerian, Virgo vibe on this. This is seeing it, knowing it, without having to put it into words. This is like gravitating towards something and it all makes sense. Now, this is also huge amounts of sensuality. We don't usually talk about her like this. Here, she's kind of like keeping that sensuality, that side of herself kind of like under lock and key. I do feel like our character has been kind of moving away from the intimate world and moving more toward like a spiritual sense of healing and a spiritual upgrade. Because again, the big question was, who is it that you can tell a life story with? And who cares to hear the life that you've already lived? Someone who's going to match you really well. So that's who we want to call in. That's who we want to manifest. I feel like by the end of this storyline, that's our Pisces is aware of just how much they've changed and why they match with a very different quality of person at this point in their life. I feel like Pisces has basically completed or ended one major journey, and to the point where they were like, look, I'm not looking for a soulmate right now. I'm not looking for anyone from my past to show back up. And they would be right. They haven't been looking for a do-over in this storyline. This is somebody who is not looking for a past love to show back up. This is somebody who's done with exes, and somebody who is, they wouldn't fit with an ex anymore, because the most important I'll say ingredient that they have wanted in a relationship is that person that they can write a life story with. But the life story that our character wants to write for themselves is different than it used to be. So this is beautiful because our lead character ends up with the right person at the right time who really suits them this time around. Yeah, I mean, it could be a Scorpio, it could be a Taurus, it could be, well, could be Cancerian too. But we've got I would just say that we have, and then we also have Libra, Taurus there. I would say that I never think signs are important for that, because it all depends on the person, and we all have, you know, everything in our charts anyway. So it's like the most important aspect is who matches our Pisces at that spiritual level, given the changes that they've gone through. That is who we write our next life story with. So we're headed right for it. But it's important to call in the companion that we want to write that life story with. Very nice. I liked this one a lot. This was beautiful. All right, you guys, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you so much for being with me. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, all that jazz. If you do enjoy my free storytelling, awesome. Thank you for giving it a thumbs up. And don't forget, if you are watching my bonus general messages right now, I do giveaways every single day on that series right now to thank my subscribers. So there's a whole playlist called Bonus General Message, and I put that out daily. So, all right, you guys, take care. Bye.